Hello, my name is Andry Vildak and welcome back to the second episode of the show. We have another special guest over. We're still in Los Angeles and this is a special one. She's a good friend of mine, Rita Duque. She's an actor, director, producer, screenwriter. So can you tell the audience who are you?
In reality, I'm actually like just 2% of those things because the other ones I just try out of lack of resources. I'm Rita. I come from Portugal, and we met in Barcelona, studying acting. And should I say how I started?
So wait, you're from Porto?
Yeah, from the second capital.
Yeah, and you're
the best city.
And you're still based in Porto.
Yes.
That's cool. So can you take us back to your childhood? The way I did with Carl, I want to hear, how did it start for you? Like, was there anyone in particular who inspired you?
Yeah, I think that what inspired me to become an actress is like very clouded. I think I just wanted to try like something different, and I thought, why not? I think I got to the end of middle school and then, choose like one of the three paths. That's how it works in Europe, that you either go do maths or sciences or history or literature or whatever. And I didn't want to do any of those things. So for me, it was going to be either sports or acting. And but the sports path was like I had to do science for that, and maybe I liked to do sports, but not like the theoretical part of it. So yeah. I really wanted to try acting. So I applied for the local acting school. It's like instead of going to regular high school, you just go to a professional school that has like they teach something specific, so they can like throw you off in the industry without you having to go to university. It's just a choice after that. And I did auditions for that one, and I got in. That's where everything started.
And what's the name of the school?
ACE, School of Arts.
People who graduate that school, are they mostly gonna continue doing the arts, or how does that work?
In general, for any acting school or drama school, only like 5% of the people that graduate actually pursue acting. And maybe it happens less when it's university level, because you're older, maybe that's exactly what you want to do. But a lot of people that do acting school at high school level, it's an experience. I might have not liked it.
Fair enough, because you got your first acting role in that school.
Yeah, exactly. Like you had projects, as any acting school has, and the first project that I did, I remember I was 15 or just turned 16, and it was like a fun theater play, almost like just like a crew of actors like changing characters, and I had like this really small world. I was just like a street magician, but then. My teacher was like, do an Italian accent. I did an Italian accent. Everything became funnier. And then he ended up putting me like in more scenes and introducing other characters to just bring them on stage so that my character was on stage like for longer, because it was just funnier. So
that was your first taste of acting.
Yeah, building like a character, but everything like very stylized, like not actual. It's not like true acting, like or feeling something, or not that you need to feel, but not like actually portraying truth. You're like sort of like building your first like doll with your body, I guess.
And when was the point where you were absolutely 100% certain you want to pursue acting as a career?
I think that was when I graduated from high school.
Okay.
Because I had 3 years to taste it. I liked it. And I also started to feeling like I wanted to create stuff as well, but I didn't want to create stuff if I wasn't acting in it. And I wanted to do it in English. I always wanted my acting journey to expand like outside of Portugal too. I had the goal like set since like I was 16. I wanted to go to university, but like one that would teach me acting in English because I wanted to learn that way.
Was that one of the reasons why you went to study in Spain?
Yes, like that. I took a gap year right after graduating. So that gap year, I applied to schools. I applied to like 2 or 3 schools in London. They didn't want me.
They missed out.
But then, but I mean, it ended up being the best result, right? Like just getting an IAB and meeting you, meeting Carl, and having that learning experience. I think I would have loved Spain a lot more than London for 3 years, and
Yeah.
at that age.
And eventually it was a British school. Like our tutors had training
Exactly.
in those
So
prestigious schools
I
that you wanted to get into.
Yeah, actually, I got like the positive things, like, but I moved it to a nicer weather.
It is true though, you know, when you're in Spain, you're in a bubble in a sense that the industry that you wanted to tap into was the English-speaking market, which is, you know, in London.
Yeah.
So we maybe missed out a little bit of some opportunities. Like we, for example, could have tried starting working sooner, you know,
Yeah.
finding an agent, all of that. But yeah, I'm not sure if that is necessary. You know, maybe you should dedicate to training first, and then you do all those things. Because
Yeah, that's
you
what
have
I was
time.
thinking. I think on the other hand, yeah, a lot of times when you a lot of people that are in drama school and start getting jobs, they might not finish it because once you get your first job, maybe people want you for other jobs, and you cannot really do both things at the same time.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're going to choose your career because that is giving out results. And
Yeah.
drama school is like it's very uncertain that it's going to like work out for you, or at least right away. On the other hand, it is quite nice to be able to like not be distracted and finish your training the way you're supposed to, and having that experience. But yeah, I'm not sure which way is correct or which way is better. But I guess they both have their ups and downs.
Yeah. But do you think going to a drama school is absolutely necessary to become an actor?
As years go by, I think they are less and less necessary.
No, me too, to be honest. I do think that you should do training, you know, and take some classes, but I don't think it's necessary to go to drama school. Of course, it's a good thing because you still end up learning for 3 years, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
In an intensive fashion, but you can just take acting classes.
Yeah, I think that in drama school you have the reassurance that at least you're going to be on stage for 3 years. Because you're going to do projects. You're going to act. You're going to be able to act and have feedback and have an audience for 3 years. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think I would not, I don't regret the 3 years that I had of training in Portugal, plus the other 3 years that I had in Barcelona. Like, they made me grow. But looking at how the industry works now, I think it's more of a privilege than an actual like requirement to be 3 years in acting training. I feel like not a lot of people care not a lot of casting directors care about that, or agencies.
Yeah, exactly. So if there is an audience member who can't go to drama school for some reason, you know, they shouldn't let their head down, because I think there's so many different ways you can, you know.
Yeah, especially
do it.
because drama school is expensive. Like it depends depending on your country. But usually like abroad or like the big cities in the world, like the drama school is paid and is expensive.
Yeah.
I would say just do some acting classes. Like I more and more believe that short-term workshops with people that are like not influencers as we have now, but like people that have like a name in the industry, for example, like having like Lucy Lennox having a casting like workshop. Go.
Yeah.
That's like, it's not what you're gonna learn stuff, but it's more than that. You're gonna show up and show your face.
Yeah, what I've noticed is that it's appreciated that you have something on your CV, that you at least you've been trying something or doing something. You know, even if it's just a workshop here and there, but at least you're in the business in a sense that you're trying to do something and keeping yourself informed about what's going on, and just do stuff, right? After graduating from the IAB, have you kept doing something to keep yourself like sharp, your acting abilities, or has that time passed and you just focus on your own stuff?
We graduated in
I
2020,
was
so
there.
things were closed down, especially for theater. I was a person, for example, that I was absolutely sure that movies or TV series did not interest me as far as acting. I was pretty sure I wanted to do theater my entire life.
Okay.
That changed a bit over like probably the third year at IAB, because especially when COVID hit. Well, I started to get very interested in photography, so I did some photography work. I like visuals, I like image, but I never like really associated that with film. And third year, I think, like having Carl as an influence on the film part and things closing down, us needing to do our assessments like through videos, for example. Like, because I liked photography, I would try to do those assessments or self-tapes or whatever other tiny video projects. I would do them, and then I would look, and I was like, okay, like, sure, but in terms of image, this looks like crap. I need to fix it.
Yeah.
And me trying to fix something for me to, like, so that I could like it, I think that's how my passion for filmmaking started. Me trying to, like, do something from beginning to end that would look nice and would give me what I wanted. So, like,
Yeah.
that's me trying to direct for the first time.
Yeah, I guess, once you start taking action and once you start getting better at things, that's when you really start to enjoy those things.
Yeah, because the dopamine kicks and and then you want, oh, okay, let me make this even better, or what's the next one?
Yeah. Like, for example, I edit sometimes, either it's self-tapes or whatever things there are. I used to edit on Sony Vegas all the time. And you guys were recommending me like to start using Premiere, and at first I was so bad at it, so it didn't give me any pleasure.
Oh yeah.
But once I started getting a hold of it, I now enjoy doing it on Premiere much more.
It's
so like those tiny examples.
It's like a game.
Yeah.
You start being good at it, you want to play it.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, just go get good at something.
Yeah. No, I remember with Premiere, I would watch Carl during second year and third year editing his videos. I was like, I'm never touching this program ever in my life, and now it's easy.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the industry in Portugal.
It is a very close industry. Well, like when you look at it, when you actually pay attention to it, it's smaller than you think, and when you're in the middle of it, it's smaller than you thought before.
Yeah.
Like it's not there's not a lot of people doing this, or at least doing this at a professional level. As an actor, I think it's difficult to break through because there's a lot of people trying. Agencies in Portugal work with a tiny amount of exclusive actors.
Yeah.
And then they have like a list of like 300 to 500 actors that are there because they sent out their stuff, but they're not exclusive because they haven't started working yet.
Yeah.
Everything, I would say, it works like in a cycle. Like your agents probably, you're not exclusive because you don't get jobs, and you don't get jobs because you're not exclusive, because when they get fiction jobs or commercial jobs or whatever, they're going to prioritize their exclusive actors, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why you're there, and that's why they're taking money. And they are making money. They've been making money systematically. I would say the breakthrough is pretty much being at the right place at the right time. And being like good at your game.
Yeah.
Like I would say, like, you have to be good at your game no matter what, but then being at the right place in the right time. But sometimes we were talking the other day that maybe the talent might be at only like 70%, but with the right opportunity, like, you can actually break through depending on the circumstances.
Yeah. You definitely, without opportunities, your talent is useless. but there are many people in the industry who don't have talent.
I think that in Portugal, for example, I believe more and more that you should make your own stuff. Because sometimes, like, me and my friends like watch Portuguese movies and know like where we want to be in the industry in terms, like, we have, you know, our own idols like in the Portuguese industry that we want to be. We want to reach the level they've reached so far. And I think that sometimes we forget, like, for example, me as an actor, maybe what I want is not to work with this director that I admire a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe what I want is to build my own thing with a director that is my friend, and then we build something, and then in a few years it gets to that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're very much likely not going to work with your idols in the industry. You're going to become the idol yourself because those people didn't work with their own idols, you know, or the people they've admired.
I guess there are exceptions, but yeah, initially, you know, you shouldn't be aiming to act with.
I mean, when I'm just saying this when you're trying to build your own thing, right?
Yeah.
Of course, you might work, like, I hope you do, with your favorite directors and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's luck, but the reality is, I guess, that you need to start with your own circle.
Those people are a family that takes over the industry right now.
Yeah.
And you should try to create your own family that is going to take over in a few years, because otherwise what's happening is that you have like every year have like one breakthrough of like a younger person that can that managed, but it's not really renovating that systematically.
Yeah,
you know, as it should, for actors, for directors, for whoever in the industry, I would say.
I really liked what Daniel Kaluuya said in one of his interviews. He said that, you know, when you're in school, then why are you trying to talk with people from the year above you? Because they're not going to talk to you, you know.
Yeah.
You should be talking to your own year and your own circle and try to create something then.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
no one else will want to talk to you because you're nobody for them, you know, at first at least.
I mean, sadly,
sadly, but
that's we tend to do that, like, hierarchy sort of thing.
But then, that's what you do, I guess. You do your own projects, which leads me to my next question. What kind of projects have you done so far?
I've done, I think the most significant, I've done, like, a couple short films. I would say that maybe when I was, like, still in IAB and when COVID hit, I tried to do, like, some videos, but they're not, like, projects. I did, like, a very amateur one, like, named Rouge, like, a couple years back that actually, like, won some things, like, but, you know, like, small festivals.
So you're an award-winning director.
in that sense, yeah. But, like, when I look at that work, I'm just like, that's not me anymore. Like, that's not, like, I don't consider that to be a good product or a good short film, you know.
Yeah, I see.
I guess that's where I was at when I was 22, or
I guess that's the journey.
Yeah, probably.
Usually.
I mean, I still have like a short film in post-production right now that I filmed like a few months, like 9 months ago, because things actually like didn't really go the way I wanted to. So for the first few months, I kind of postponed like the editing of it. I ended up like changing the entire concept in editing because things were just not working for me.
Yeah.
But you know, it happens.
It happens, yeah.
And actually, but I will finish it and see what the hell comes out. But I think that I'm at a stage right now that it's much more for the people that I'm working with. Like, screw the movie. Like if it goes bad, screw the movie, but don't screw the relationships that you have with people.
Yeah.
Like, never. And
Is that something that happened?
Yes. Because it's not I realize it's not worth it. But you know, I've kind of sort of like, I wrapped it up, at least on my side. I hope I did. But I hope I didn't do like any permanent like mental damage to anybody. I mean, I kind of did to myself, I feel, but I'm just, I think that's just who I am now.
Yeah.
But because I lived that, I realized that I'll never do that again, because it's really like not where you want to be, especially in this industry where you want to be you want to be in good terms with anybody, because you never know where that gaffer that you were just rude to for no reason because you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
You don't know where that person's gonna be like in 5 years. They might be like, a few levels above you, and then there's a production and they happen to like pop in the casting room where people are watching self-tapes. They're like, oh, I seen that girl. She's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I guess it's a good practice to be nice, to people, and
you
it's
never
gonna pay off
know what's
in
gonna
the end.
happen.
So that film that we were talking about, that was one of your first films that you had hired a crew. Is that correct?
Yeah. It was the first time that I hired a crew in my short film that I wrote and that I was directing.
Yeah. So what did you learn from that process? Like now that
I
it's behind you?
had like 8 or 9 people like in a house shooting for 10 days, and I needed like at least like thrice as many people there.
Okay.
Because it's not enough, because you're doing like many jobs at the same time, and
if the audience,
that's gonna affect the
if the audience watched the first podcast, they know that we were talking just with Carl, that he said that he sometimes thinks like, why is there 40 people?
There's a reason why you have so many people like in the credits of a movie. Like they are not like sitting around
Smoking a cigarette.
like at least in this, like I recently was in a set with like 25 people there, and everybody was doing something like and rushing.
I guess it just makes the process smoother. It's easier to concentrate on one thing.
Yeah, and when you have like a smaller crew, you might come up with a very good result that is very like dear to you and to whoever watches it. Yeah. But if you look closer, maybe there's a lot of things that you neglected. Because what are you gonna do when you have like a five people crew? You're gonna prioritize acting, like where you're shooting, sound, and maybe you have like a few lights, and obviously camera, right?
Yeah.
But you're like, maybe your editing process is gonna be a mess because there was nobody taking notes, and you syncing sound with image is gonna be a mess. It's gonna take like thrice as long to sync stuff because there was no clapping board there.
Yeah. I guess it does depend on the project and on the skill set you guys have. Like some people are good at multitasking. Like some people act and direct at the same time.
I believe that you can multitask.
But it's definitely easier if you have the crew.
I just think that if you have like, you can multitask like in terms of like acting and directing and all of that. But like if you move like from department to department, I just think that that might not be like ideal, because you're more likely not to be focused on like you're not going to give 100% to every single thing.
So the most recent thing you did was a 48-hour film festival. Can you tell the audience what is it?
Yeah. So the 48-hour film project is a project/festival. And the premise is very simple. You make a short film in 48 hours. It usually happens during like a weekend. And like on Friday, you go to like the place, like the venue they've rented out to sort the genres and the characters, because there's a bunch of things, a bunch of like guidelines for you to make the movie. But you go there, they give you the genre basically, and from the clock starts ticking write it, film it, edit it in 48 hours and send it.
So you go prepared with a team?
This time, this was my first 48, but probably not the last because I liked the stamina that it gives you. This time, I had met a director and producer like in an independent short that I did and that I filmed in March. Pedro. And he's now like a really good friend of mine. And he asked me if I wanted to like just go and do a 48-hour project with him and the person that at the time worked with him, Katya, like the other producer. And basically the deal was I would get actors, he would get the crew, and then we would write it. But then he made it very clear, like, weeks later, that, no, you write it. But he got, like, a crew of, like, 21 people.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got, like, we were 4 actors counting me in as well. And basically, we knew that we were going to be in this project, like, a month prior to the dates, to the shooting dates, to that weekend. So during that month, I just like I knew some of the genres that we could possibly get. So I had like kind of a story for each genre already in my head that could fit the actors that we had.
Yeah. So that's the preparation you do.
And for example, our producer Katya had like 13 locations booked already, just in case of whatever we film.
Yeah, I see.
But you can go even like more next level with this. Like Pedro knew another director that went into the competition with a film. He had like a crew of dancers and singers just in case he would get musical theater as a genre.
That's
musical
great.
theater or musical. Actually, but yeah, people like some people. Anybody can go. Anybody can have a go at the 48-hour. So sometimes you get people that have done it for like 10 years and they work like really in really good productions in the industry already. And sometimes you get kids that are just like trying to like start out.
Yeah. So I guess if there's people out there who want to do something, take on a challenge, then 48-hour film festivals, they're everywhere, I guess, right? In Europe.
I think pretty much everywhere. Like ours is like based in Lisbon, but it was created in LA, I think.
Okay.
I think it was LA people who came up with the festival. And the thing is, you like when the 48 hours like are done, then they're gonna like watch all the movies. There's a showing of all the shorts that have been made, and there's awards after it. And the best short film of the 48 gets to go to the Filmapalooza. And for example, last year it happened here in Los Angeles, and this year is going to happen next year is going to happen in Lisbon.
That's cool. So there is a way to kind of
and if you
get some audience.
If you win best short film at Filmapalooza, you get a can.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Look out for a 48-hour film
you can
festival.
climb up. You can slowly climb up all these steps.
Yeah.
We didn't get it this year. We got like 5 nominations for stuff, but we actually didn't win anything. But it was first year for everybody.
But were you happy with the result?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the short film doesn't have like, it's not like multi-layered and like substance. It's not like that rich. But it's something like pretty. I don't know, like very like straight beginning to end, as in like it makes sense.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy with it.
So you were also an ambassador for cinema?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So the European Parliament has a program that is very badly advertised, but look out for it because it's actually a good one. So they every year they select an ambassador from each EU country to go to the Venice Film Festival that year and be part of the jury panel of the authors section. And then the months after, you are an ambassador for the Lux Audience Award, which is an award like created by the European Parliament for European films. And this year, so you apply through your local cinema. So this year, last year actually, I applied because a friend like sent me like the post on Instagram. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. And she sent me the post. She was like, "This sounds like it's your thing." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I applied like really last minute.
How did you apply? What's the process?
You have like a theoretical part, sort of. Like there's questions about movies, your favorite European movies, what do you look out in movies, how would you promote cinema in your own country or your hometown, that sort of thing. And then you make a video like starting off with cinema for me is something, and you can be creative with it. You can just like set the camera like and just open your heart and just speak, or you can like do make a montage of something and do a voiceover, which was what I did.
Yeah, I think I've seen yours. I think it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you went the artsy, creative way.
Yeah,
instead of just talking.
I mean, I was kind of lazy because I didn't want to like. I didn't want to film, and it was like the last day that I could apply. I spent the entire day answering the questions. It was like 8 p.m. and I didn't want to record anything, so I was just like, I guess I'll just do a little puzzle of what I've got, and I'll just record voice.
Yeah. And what's the competition to become an ambassador?
It's not a lot, because as I started saying, it's not like the advertisement that has been done about it, like I don't know, it's just really bad, because I'm from the field, and like I work in the field, and I didn't know it. It was my friend that I met in gymnastics, she doesn't even do film, that told me that her boyfriend was applying or something.
I guess they didn't know how to run their Instagram
I think
ads.
about like just 10 to 20 people like applied last year. So
okay, from Portugal.
Yeah. So, I mean, on one hand, it's a little bit less impressive for me, but on the other hand, I still got the opportunity. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to get closer to the festivals and cinema.
Yeah.
So what did you learn, or what did you take away from that? Did you meet any, like, did you get any good connections?
I mean, yeah, like the first stage, as I said, is Venice, is to do the jury job. And you straight away meet 26 other people from each corner of Europe, like from 18 to 25 years old.
You got accommodation in every European country now.
Yeah. And it's really cool because everybody's like at least a cinema lover.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like in film school and want to be directors, or they're interested in being like critics, or even actors sometimes, like me. So yeah, you make all those connections, and for example, like the Venice for me was the first big festival that I went to. I mean, when we lived in Sitges, we always had the Sitges Film Festival going on, but it's like I think I wasn't like aware I wasn't aware of what festivals meant at the time. Yeah, because otherwise I would have like, you know, sneaked into parties and at the Sitges Film Festival, like I was there. We were there all the time, but we had no idea what festivals meant before. I didn't know. And in Venice, I realized, dude, there's a lot of people here. Like that I want to meet.
So have you seen any celebrities?
Oh yeah, like they're there. You sometimes you crash their red carpet just accidentally or not, or their premieres. It's not that you have like a lot of opportunities to talk to them.
So talking about film festivals in general, do you think it's something that is useful for an actor to do, to just attend film festivals?
I think
it's good to make connections.
I think so. I think you always, I mean, be realistic about the network you think you're gonna make, you're gonna establish, because your network is not gonna be Ethan Hawke and Quentin Tarantino. Like that's impossible.
Damn it!
Damn it. But like, bring it down a little bit. And your network might be like people of your own age that want to do projects, or people that are, you know, I mean, you're not gonna like impress anybody.
Yeah.
With like, if you haven't done like a lot of things or pretty much almost nothing, that is significant. I mean, significant, well, subjectively, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, be realistic with your network, because you are able to make it. Like there's always something going on. There's even like Facebook groups with like, let's hang out like in Cannes. I'm alone. Who is here for the 3 days, or who's here for the entire thing?
Oh yeah.
So there's always a lot of things going on. But yeah, and if not for networking, just like watch movies. Like, see what's good, what isn't, see what's good acting, what isn't good acting, learn from it. Like, if there's not good acting, then learn from bad acting and just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's cool to keep the creative flow going when you attend those things.
And I guess it's just a good vibe to be around people.
Yeah.
And around movies, and people who are into movies. Like I went to Berlinale with you, and that was a cool experience. And afterwards we went to the Portuguese films after party, right?
Oh yeah.
So that was a fun event, and you actually managed to make some connections, right?
Yeah.
Because they were Portuguese.
I met the director, and he remembered me later when I met him again in Porto. It's actually very funny with Portuguese people. I'm guessing that might happen with any nationality, but like when you go to like a film festival, it's like all of a sudden, if you speak Portuguese, that's like you're already like brothers with them.
Yeah, the same with Estonia.
Exactly. Like maybe in Portugal they won't care about talking to you, but then you're like out of the country. All of a sudden, if you speak the same language, then we're a family.
That's
now.
cool. Yeah, we have the exact same thing.
So actually, yeah, like I think that's probably like one of the most valuable connections that is like, you know, a little bit not a little bit, like above me, that I managed to establish, to make there. I had to be outside of Portugal to connect with that Portuguese person.
Yeah.
Because the circumstances were better outside of Portugal.
Yeah, and I guess that's a segue into working together.
That's the point.
Sometime.
Yeah. And that's the point, I guess, of going to film festivals and or just attending Q&As. That's always good too.
And coming back to your career as an actor, do you like setting goals for yourself, or how do you keep yourself busy and doing stuff?
For the past year, I did a lot of student films. Sometimes it's a very good experience. Sometimes they don't know what they're doing. I mean, most of the times they don't know what they're doing in terms of the acting part, which is what interests you, because they're so busy trying to make something. Like having a movie. And also, like, not a lot of them had like any acting experience, and I believe that a director is, I think the best directors are actors as well.
Yeah.
Because you know how to direct actors.
And as an actor, it's a safe feeling to be on a set where a director actually knows what they're doing, and you can trust them.
Yeah.
Instead of what sometimes happens in student films is that you want to make sure that, okay, at least you look at the footage and you're like, okay, that's fine. But you sometimes, not all the time, you cannot trust the director, you know, at a student setting.
But at the same time, it's their project, you know.
Yeah, I guess, you just need to adapt, and, you know.
Of course.
You know what you're doing, you know. You know it's not a big studio project.
No, exactly,
you know?
exactly.
So you just
and
adapt.
I mean, sometimes I get surprised when I like months after I like get like the final cut of like a student film that I was in, and I watched it. I was like, this is totally not usable for my show reel. Like, this
Yeah.
is dreadful. Like, I
But at
can't
least-
believe I acted this way.
Yeah, but at least you
I
get
mean,
on.
yeah,
You get on set experience.
exactly,
which
and you
is
meet and you meet
what you need as an
people.
actor.
You meet people. Like, these students are gonna get good, and they're gonna be
Yeah.
in the industry someday.
Yeah.
Like, so it's good that you know them.
So definitely look out for student films.
Anything is better than not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that along with amateur / indie projects too, and actually that's where I met my two friends that now work with me. That worked with me for the 48 and now a little bit more systematically because I met them there, and we, like, in terms of career objectives and complementing like a team or a crew, we like clicked immediately. So like now we're sending out, like, I'm writing scripts, they're sending it out to grants, and whenever we win one of those, then we get a crew, and then we shoot it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that maybe for a year, my goal would be at least once be in the right place at the right time.
That's a good goal. Well, hope it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, because we're running out of time again, we need to wrap this up. But do you have any advice for people who are, from a country like you and me, where the opportunities are different, let's say? What should they do to get into acting or filmmaking?
I would say if you have no experience whatsoever, like, if you want to have like a 3-year like companionship in learning in the system, then, and you have opportunity to go to drama school, go for it. If it's within your resources. If you don't, take some class here and there, do like a few workshops, or like best way is like watch movies, like know how people behave, observe in real life, see how it works on camera, because things get different. Not everything that you do in real life reads well on camera. And throw yourself out there, like even if it's maybe you don't even get accepted in the student film, record yourself doing, like, performing a monologue or something, put it on YouTube, put it on Vimeo, send it through to agencies, or gather friends and start doing your own stuff. I mean, I feel like sometimes it might get a little bit hypocritical to like give this advice, because it's not a very happy place to be, this not knowing yet, not having really achieved anything. It's been 3 years since we've graduated, or that kind of thing, that kind of mood. So people are gonna struggle sometimes. Like, I'm not good at dealing with that. Like, I just get like in the last podcast you asked Carl how he deals with like this sort of thing. He says he plays video games. Like, no, I get depressed and I cry, and that's it. It doesn't get any better.
Yeah, but you and you move on.
But then you move on, like something that doesn't like put you stuck in your room. If you have to let it out, go in your room for half an hour, cry, break something, and whatever. You don't have to break anything. Be civilized, please. But no, just
but yeah, do what you need.
Do what you need. But don't stay in the room for the whole day.
Yeah.
Like, it is difficult to not be there, because your sadness is something very easy and nice to indulge in. At some point,
yeah.
it gets very addictive. But really try to fight it. The most positive thing that I do is I call a friend. We go have a beer, and I talk about it, and I externalize it.
Yeah.
And I get some laughs out of some
exactly. Yeah, share your thoughts with people who are dealing with the same thing.
I feel like the worst thing is to isolate yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, for everything, for like not just for acting or the film industry, like anything in your life that you want to achieve and you're not, and you're struggling to achieve it because that's just the nature of it. Isolating yourself is the worst thing you can do. Yeah.
I think that's a good note to end with. Guys, don't isolate yourself. Thanks a lot for listening.
Yeah.
This was Rita Duque.
Seek friends. Keep them.
Travel
with them.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. I'll see you guys next time. We'll be back in London. Take it easy. Peace.